All right, I'm going to show you real quickly how we can convert a ProPresenter file from the regional campus version over to one of our remote campuses for playback services. So first we'll start in ProPresenter here. As you can see, I've actually taken a file that was already created at regional and I dragged it into ProPresenter, and I got this warning. Whenever you see this warning, we're going to go ahead and apply all and write over. By doing this, it replaces any previous versions of files that are commonly named and gives us the newest version. So while we're waiting for that to load up here, let me talk about the differences of what we need to do with the campuses that varies over what we do at regional. One thing is at regionals we use lower thirds instead of full screen graphics, so we need to make sure that we have full screen graphics showing. The other thing that we do is we will remove any macros that might be applicable at regional and replace those with maybe clear options or full screen graphics. You'll see as we go. So let's take a look. So we can see here we've got a regional file and we need to make some quick conversions. One thing I look for is the exclamation mark. This just indicates that there's likely a macro that needs to be removed. So we'll right click and we're going to go ahead and remove the macro. This is something that did apply at regional but will not apply at our campuses. So we're just going to go from top to bottom and check for anything that may be out of sorts. Okay, on our countdown timer we also have a macro. We'll go ahead and remove that. And in our announcement video, same thing. Now at our campuses, we oftentimes will do a go to next timer instead of having it be manually selected to go between our countdown video and our announcements. So let's take a look here. What we need to do is just right click. We're going to ensure that it's a foreground video. We're going to add a go to next timer and just type in 0 here to apply a automatic advancement at the end of the video. The slide after the announcements, we'd like to leave it blank. So we're going to go ahead and remove the macro, and we'll just add an action of clear all. This just clears the screen and prepares everything for the worship set. Now, next thing we want to do is we want to come into our worship set, and I just select within that song in the sidebar just to deselect all slides. And I'm going to apply a theme. So I'll go ahead and go to theme, worship, and let's say we're making this for the Clifton campus. We'll use the middle theme. And when we apply that middle theme, you'll see that our text has jumped up to the middle of the screen here. When we're at high point, we would apply a theme for the upper. And it's just because of the way that the screens are situated, and things at Northeast are a little bit different as well. So there should be themes specifically designed for your particular campus. Okay, so we've got the text in the center. We can also see at the very beginning here, we have a macro that's been applied, and we're going to go ahead and remove that macro. We're going to add a clear all. This just ensures that there's nothing else happening in relation to previous parts of the service. I'm going to go back to our previous campus event. So we're just going to go to a previous playlist, and I'm going to find a song from our previous campus list like this one, and I'm going to copy in the full screen graphic slide. We'll go back to today's playlist to the song we were working with, and I'm just going to go ahead and paste in that graphic slide. So this gives us that full screen video. Now let's ensure that that full screen video is on a loop. So we'll go to Inspector, Properties, and we'll have it on loop. Looks good. And I'm realizing I probably could have put that clear all actually on the slide that has the video. So I'm going to go ahead and add an action clear and clear all on that particular slide. All right, so if you were to select this slide, it starts that video background, and just double check to make sure that the text overlays on top of the background and that the background doesn't just go away. If this is set up as a foreground element, when you select the next slide, the background would actually go away. So looks good there. All right, let's continue on down. We want to make sure that there aren't any clear options within any of our slides, because if we have a clear option here, you may lose your background in the middle of a song. All right, we're going to work through the same steps on the next song. I'm going to apply the theme, middle. I'm going to go ahead and paste in what was already in my clipboard, which was that motion graphic. I'll delete this slide at the beginning altogether. That gets rid of the macro that was there as well. I'll go ahead and add a clear all, even though this is really not necessary. But if we jump things out of order or anything like that, I wanted to go ahead and prepare it just in case. So we're going to go ahead and check through and make sure we don't have any other indicators. These indicators in the corner are just hotkeys. Those can stay as they are. All right, now we're coming down to where the sermon starts. So at the campuses, we always play the bumper video from ProPresenter. And in this case, we'll keep the bumper, but we have a macro that needs to be removed. So we're going to go and remove that. And then our next slide just needs to be a blank slide, because at the campus, the playback at this point would take care of all of our slides. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove everything that's on this slide already. We'll go ahead and add a clear, just so that it clears our screens all together. And then every slide after that, I'm going to remove. So I'm highlighting all, I'm deselecting a couple, and I'm going to hit my, might as well right click and choose delete. So now at the campus, we've got basically after the last song, there's just a blank slide. They can select on that. That brings this, what is this, a presentation. It brings the presentation active, and then they'll be able to select the bumper video. And as that bumper video finishes, it will go to blank, but we haven't set that go to next timer yet. So let's first right click. We want to make sure it's foreground. We'll add a go to next timer, 0. Now if this slide was selected, it would automatically advance to the next. You're welcome to go ahead and test it. So certainly would be worth testing here. And they're going to leave it on that blank slide throughout the entire sermon. After sermon, we come into our next song. So I'm going to, again, select in the sidebar next to that song, just to deselect all slides. I'll go ahead and apply my theme. Okay, and hopefully it's still in my clipboard. I will paste my graphic. Sure is. We'll delete the slide that had the macro, and we're going to go ahead and add an action with the clear all. And again, the clear all is just a catch-all in case this, maybe Fresh Wind was put in a different order from everything else that we already had planned. We'll go ahead and put that clear all in there. It just makes it work at the campuses. Scroll through, make sure we don't have any kind of corner items, macros or clear options, just to make sure this is all clean. Looks good. All right, so now we're at the send out, and it's labeled send out regional, but I've noticed that recently we just leave the name of that regional, even though it's actually a send out for the campuses. But what we do need to do is actually change some of the elements here, because we need full screen graphics instead of lower thirds. So again, what I'll do is I'll actually go into our previous campus playlist. This was just from the previous week. I'm going to go to the send out there, and I'll grab the slides I need from here. So I need the campus pastor. I need the ways to give. I'm just holding command as I click the two, and I'm going to copy both of those. We're going to come back into today's playlist. We'll go back to the send out. Let me just paste them here at the end. And now at this point, I can delete any of the slides that I don't need. And let's see, we probably will have this slide, so we'll go ahead and leave that. Actually, I'm going to go here, delete. All right, so we're left with a blank slide at the beginning. It looks like it's disabled, doesn't matter, that's fine. We're going to relocate our campus pastor slide here. And in this case, we need to go ahead and edit this slide so that it shows the proper campus pastor. So at High Point, we've got Eugene Grant. Oops. Boom. Go back to our show. So we've got his slate. We have the picture. We have the give. And let's actually copy this guy. We'll paste it in again. And this time let's remove all the text off of it. This way there's just like something that can be left up on the screen. And I'm also realizing I just made a mistake. We were editing this for Clifton, and I went and made the campus pastor for the wrong one. So let's see. My editors give me some trouble. Why am I not able to? edit. For whatever reason, maybe while I'm recording, I can't get into the editor. Let's try quick edit. No, doesn't want to let me do that either. All right, well, just assume we made some changes here. Sorry for the recording issue. It happens. The idea, though, is we would have a name slate. We have whatever elements are related to our send out, and then we would have a blank slate, just so there's something that can remain on the screen until the end of service. All right, so this all looks good. I may even add, I don't think we need to add anything at the end. We've got this alternate version stuff. We can go ahead and drop that out. So in our playlist, we're just going to go ahead and remove these alternate version things. Now we've actually completed everything. Go back to the top, just verify it's there. Let's change the name of this. It's Campus. And I don't know what it was. Let's say it's 3.3. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but either way, it's there. And now we've finished editing our ProPresenter setup for the campus. Now, one more thing I just want to run back real quick for. Let's take a look. If you were to need to export this out to a campus, you're just going to right-click, choose Export, and then choose a place for it. It's just going to go to my desktop or whatever, but in the end, you're going to export that file and make it available for the campuses. You'll drop it in the campus folder. One more thing at the export. Take a look. You need to make sure that this include media with presentations option is selected. If that's not selected, you may miss out and some items could be missing from the upload. So that's it. If you have questions, let me know.